hitting pit road. Contact on the front stretch. Hinchcliffe's into the wall and more.
And Sato.
Max Chilton also got a piece of it, and we're full course yellow in the first corner.
And Dixon was almost into the wall, turning into turn 1.
What a miserable weekend for Hinch. We showed you just a little bit ago the mechanical problem that sent him into the barrier at the end of the straightaway in turn 7. Max Chilton also had a mechanical failure yesterday that sent him into the wall out of the backside of the course.
Yeah, there you go.
And Takuma Sato all torn up. Graham Rahal just leaving pit road. We caught something on his radio on the pace laps that he might not have been feeling very good. What was it, Rick, about the brake system on his car?
Well, that's exactly right. Said he had a very soft brake pedal. So soft, in fact, such a big problem, they decided to bring him in. However, what they've done is did a little bit of work and sent him back out. Now they're hoping that with this long yellow, maybe they can bring him in a few times, fix the problem, and not lose a lap.
There's his dad, Bobby, looking on from, I believe he's down by turn 3, watching this race. So what happened? First corner, first lap.
Always so dangerous because everybody's always going for the same spot. Now let's watch up here. Looks like Charlie Kimball is in the middle of the track, and he's going to start to get himself over to his left to make room to get into the corner, which is a right-hander for him, and he starts to move all the traffic over, and the guy that pays for that the most is the number 5 car of James Hinchcliffe, who ends up getting into the wall, and the rest of the guys start sliding along.
Hinchcliffe had nowhere to go.
And you can hear the impact, and as a driver, I can tell you that you hate that.
Marco Andretti got a piece of it too.
He almost got through that.
Yeah, and you know, for Sato, he should have, you know, it's a hard thing to do because watch Sato, he ends up in the middle of the track, and you're trying to get off the middle of the track hoping that nobody's going to hit you, but if he had his foot on the brakes and stopped, then Marco would have got through there. So another day that's unlucky for Marco Andretti. You see that James took his hands off the steering wheel, so he ends up getting his hands caught in the steering wheel. Doc, you have more?
We've caught up with James Hinchcliffe. James, what happened?
I mean, Carlos was an idiot. He was pushing me wide through 12 and 13 coming to the start. We get to the start-finish line, and he just drives me straight into the wall. It was such an unnecessary BS accident to happen. And you know what? He got a nice big check in Indy. We're sending him the crash damage bill for that because that is an absolute crime. So mad. It was so unnecessary. There's plenty of room on the racetrack. It's lap 1. It was a joke. We will definitely be talking after this.
What do you do now with the car? Can you get it repaired and get back out?
We're going to try. I mean, you know, as long as he's still out there, there's probably going to be some more accidents, so we'll try and go and get the car back out there and pick up whatever points we can. But I'm just gutted. You know, this weekend started with a ton of potential. The car was fast. The aero guys had, you know, a really quick car off the truck. And, you know, yesterday we had a mechanical failure, takes us out of a top 5, and today we have morons just driving people off the road.
Has there been bad blood between you and Munoz in the past? Anything in the past that would have brought this up?
No, we were joking around before the start of the race. You know, it's he's not a bad kid. It's just it was so stupid. I mean, even like I said, coming through 12 and 13, coming to the green, he was giving me absolutely no room. I don't know if there was someone on the inside of him. I haven't seen it yet. It doesn't really matter. It is what it is. It's over. He's in. We're out in a big way, and it's just really disappointing.
James Hinchcliffe very upset, Alan.
And the incident is under review by the 3-steward panel that looks at such things.
You know, and I think what James doesn't understand right now, and he did mention that he thought maybe somebody might be on the inside of Carlos, and that's exactly what he'll find when he watches the replay.
You will see in our ABC side-by-side coverage that first turn carnage here in the second of the Doolin Detroit races, as us under caution before we got a full lap of green. In fact, before we got a full corner of green. And about 4 cars damaged in that knockaround. Hinchcliffe, Sato, Max Chilton, and more.
You know, watch here, guys. The 83 of Charlie Kimball is driving along, and he's going towards turn 1, but what he doesn't know is that obviously the 26 of Carlos Munoz is right behind him. So as we roll this, you'll see Charlie Kimball start to go towards the inside a little bit, thinks he's going to get around Sato a little bit. And at that time, the 26 car of Carlos Munoz is starting to fill in the gap. And as soon as the gap is filled, the 83 Charlie Kimball decides I need to make a nice swing into turn 1, pushes over the 26 of Carlos Munoz, which then takes out James Hinchcliffe. Now, when James goes back and watches this, he will then find out that it really wasn't Carlos's fault. It was a chain reaction. But all he knows, Eddie, is the disappointment that he had from Carlos from what went on before the green flag. And we all play the mind games.
It's very difficult when you're going into a corner like that and you don't know if there's 3 abreast. All Charlie tried to do was get a better run at the corner. Had he kept his line, all that would have been avoided. Or the biggest problem they would have had would have been rubbing wheels. But once Hinchcliffe was into the wall, it was done.
So you don't see Munoz jumping in there in between them when Kimball faded a little bit to the inside as being an issue at all.
No, you're going for a space in the racetrack, so he did the right thing. And Kimball realized he wasn't going to make ground on the car in front and wanted to go towards the left, as we would always do. Eddie to set up for a right-hander, and lo and behold, that gave the chain reaction. So,
but those are immediate decisions that you have to make. So obviously he didn't have all the information available, and he made the wrong one.
Graham Rahal was